The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, it's morning right now. I was making this video. We're on our way to the gym. You know, getting back on the grind. Truly here in South Florida, as you guys know. But I wanted to talk about just something in women's boxing that I found really interesting, and I found very interesting for quite some time. So we had on the undercard this week of Conor Benn versus Samuel Vargas, we had Savannah Marshall, you know, very talented fighter, trained by Peter Fury, you know, was once signed by Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions. She looks like and fights like she is the goods. You know, I gotta say, man, they call her the Silent Assassin. That's her nickname, and it's for good reason. She don't really talk much. She gets about that action, and the record indicates that she's about that action. You know, when we talk about Savannah Marshall, we're talking about arguably, I mean, you could argue the hardest puncher in all of women's boxing. She's 10-0 with 8 knockouts. You know, and the thing I like about her is she's so fluid and so relaxed. And following her most recent stoppage victory over Maria Lindbergh, where she became the first person to stop Maria Lindbergh, Savannah Marshall and Eddie Hearn were both adamant calling out Claressa Shields. You know, Savannah Marshall first went out, started off by saying that, hey, I punch way too hard for Claressa Shields. She don't want no smoke. But I'm paraphrasing. But if you basically say that Claressa Shields don't want to fight her, then that she punches too hard. Eddie Hearn said that she would not Claressa Shields would not last 10 rounds with Savannah Marshall. And look, that fight is the fight for Claressa Shields. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let there be no mistakes. Let there be no qualms. There's only one fight that Claressa Shields should even be talking about, and that's Savannah Marshall. You know, I know she is the self-proclaimed Gwoat, and she's a great fighter, and she's had some great accomplishments to her record. But at the same time, you can't go around parading and dancing yourself around as the Gwoat when there's a girl around your weight who beat you in the amateurs, who's pound for pound arguably the hardest puncher in the whole sport, and she's calling you out. I mean, the only girl that's a puncher that I would say is a harder puncher because she's done it over a longer period of time against better opponents is Amanda Serrano. But other than that, you look at Savannah Marshall and what she's been doing in women's boxing, and it's unprecedented what she's been doing as far as punching power goes. You know what I'm saying? We got Pops here. He's driving the car. He want to chime in.
Marshall's brought up an interesting point when she also called out Claressa Shields. She actually came out and said she's willing to call out Katie Taylor, who's I don't know how many divisions down.
147, like 5 weight classes.
Yeah, because I don't hear her calling my name out.
That's a hell of a point. Pops is bringing you guys that heat early in the morning, man.
That's it.
That's a great point. You know, why is Claressa Shields busy over here calling out Katie Taylor when she don't gotta do none of that? She don't gotta worry about fighting Katie Taylor or Jessica McCaskill or McBreakis or none of these girls. You know, she don't gotta worry about doing none of that, okay? She got a girl right there around her weight, all right, that will happily take the fight, that will happily, you know, fight her, you know. And I think that's a super fight for women's boxing. That's the fight that we need to be talking about and pushing more for, because, you know, Claressa Shields, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, she's cleared out her weight. I mean, anybody with the name that there is to fight around her weight, she's beaten. And really the only person left is Savannah Marshall. And stylistically, that is a very, very tough fight for her, because there's never been a fight. I can't recall a fighter that Claressa Shields has ever fought that had the combination of youth, size, and power that would give her, that you would be led to believe would give her those kind of problems. And the fact that she beat this girl in the amateurs already, that makes the fight that much more interesting. And, you know, when I was watching Claressa Shields in her post-fight interview following her last fight against Eve Duclair, I noticed that when they brought up Savannah Marshall, she got a little bit irritated, very irritated, a little too easily irritated. So you can clearly tell that with Claressa Shields being the competitor she is, that there's still that she feels some type of way about what happened in the amateurs. So, you know, I want this fight to happen. I think it's great for women's boxing. I think it'd be great for Savannah Marshall to finally fight someone who's truly elite. I think it'd be great for Claressa Shields to fight the girl that beat her in the amateurs. I mean, what are the options out there but what other options are better for her? Would Claressa Shields rather fight you know, someone who's legit or someone who's smaller than her, 5 weight classes below her, like Katie Taylor or, you know, McCaskill? Or would she go ahead and fight the girl that beat in the amateurs? I don't know. I think she should be looking at fighting Savannah Marshall, because truthfully speaking, I think that stylistically, I think it's a pick'em. I know Claressa Shields has all the trinkets, she's got all the belts and whatnot, but anybody who's watched Savannah Marshall and knows what they're watching, that is a pick'em fight. Technically speaking, her fluidity, the way how relaxed she is, the size, the punching power, that should give Claressa Shields some problems. Because every now and then Claressa Shields does have a tendency to get sloppy and throw punches out of place. So I think it's the fight that has to happen, you know, because I think Savannah Marshall will bring out the best in Claressa Shields, and Claressa Shields will bring out the best in Savannah Marshall, and there really isn't anything else we should be talking about as fight fans. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.